It's time for the Real Estate Halftime Show. Sit back, relax, and listen to Nashville's premier inside scoop to real estate with the mortgage extraordinaire himself, James Harper.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Halftime Show. I am James Harper at Fairway Independent Mortgage, and I have a special guest here today that I'm super excited. I've been trying to get her in the studio for a long time. She's very busy, doing a lot of transactions in the real estate business, and we're going to dive into that really quickly so we can get into the meat and potatoes of why she's here today and some of the things she wants to share with you listeners out there that might help you make a buying decision or a real estate decision, because she basically works in many, many different lanes of the real estate business. So we want to welcome Amanda Bell from At Home Realty. So
thank you.
Welcome, Amanda Bell.
I appreciate you having me
Amanda
here.
Bell Williams. We have to make sure we get that very clear.
Yes, but you will find me listed as Amanda Bell.
There we go.
Amanda Bell Sells, right?
Amanda Bell Sells. So Amanda has basically been had At Home Realty since 2007.
Right.
But it been in the real estate business for 21 years. So that's a long time. Has 24 team members. I think that's great. But here's the niche. Here's the kicker. She has her brokerage in Ashland City, Tennessee.
Right.
Did you grow up there?
No, I didn't, but I have ties.
I have ties there. So what makes this unique is because Amanda has really carved out her name and her reputation for herself and her brokerage right in Ashland City, and that's really allowed her to be the queen of real estate. They say in Ashland City. So let's dive right in. Tell us why you really have gotten into this industry 21 years ago. What drives you each and every day? I know we said money. I mean, that is definitely important to all of us, but I know there's probably something else to it. And
right.
Is it the art of the deal? Is it that you just love to help people? You like the end result? What is the other passions that you have that revolve around your business?
Well, I say, and you probably don't even know this, that I didn't pick real estate; it picked me. When I was in,
I think that's true a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't find the mortgage business; it found me too.
So when I was in college at MTSU, I was studying textiles, merchandising, and design, and a realtor couple, Harold and Sally Wall from Snow and Wall Realtors up there, came into where I worked, which was a restaurant up there, and they were pretty regular, and they said, hey, you should come sell real estate for us. And I said, that is not what I want to do. I'm not interested in working nights, weekends, and holidays. This is just not going to happen. So fast forward about 4 or 5 years after that, I was in a situation to where we were building a house and decided that would be a good opportunity for me to get my real estate license, but I only planned on selling what we had built, so spec homes and selling those. Life happened, and real estate became a necessity as a second income, and then it just kept going from there and became a full-time job, and now I own my own brokerage.
And so what made you, I mean, this is almost for my other podcast, I always like it when people take a chance and kind of get off the bench with life. And so you were faced with some circumstances in your life where you said, okay, I gotta survive.
Absolutely.
I got to do something that I know is going to give me the revenue I need, but also I need to jump into this and I need to make this my full-time job. Oh, well, now that I'm making it my full-time job now, okay, let's open a brokerage.
Yes.
Which is a big gamble. There's a lot of expense and startup and risk. And so what made you just kind of take that big jump?
Well, I was working real estate full-time, and I had a full-time job in Nashville, which included a job that focused more on what I went to school for. And my hours were cut to 4 hours a day. And it was 32 miles each way to drive to work.
Man.
And I just wasn't willing to make that drive for 4 hours a day. So I was kind of forced
that was costing you money to do that.
Exactly. So I was kind of forced to make a decision. Yeah. And since I was doing decent at real estate, it just seemed like it was the opportunity for me to try that full time. So that moved me into the full time position. And then I got to a point where I realized that I needed an assistant. And for me, I didn't want to have an assistant and still be at another brokerage. So I prayed about it a lot. And the space that I am in, I actually looked at it for 3 different clients to lease out. And each one of them said no. And one day I woke up and I said, this space is meant for me, and I've been there ever since. So it's been a great opportunity, but I don't do anything without prayer first. I mean, that's just the way it's meant to happen for me.
Well, I think also when you're passionate, it getting up for work just seems a lot easier, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, when you're just passionate about what you do and you love what you do, that's a driver in itself. You just wake up, and I mean, for me, I've never. I fell into the mortgage business. It found me. I'm engineer by degree, and I was in the automotive industry. Long story, but when I started doing the mortgage business, the mortgage industry, I mean, I just loved getting up and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people think that's crazy or whatever, but when you find something that you really like to do, it doesn't seem hard to do.
No, it doesn't at all.
I mean, you have bad days.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I have to say that I feel like real estate is very emotional. For me, it's much harder to disappoint my client for a deal to fall through than it is to think about the commission that I'm losing. Am I happy about losing the commission? Absolutely not. But the devastation of my client is always more important, and that in itself causes emotional turmoil for me because it's, I'm feeling the sadness or the pain or the angry that my client is feeling because I care. I genuinely care about what's going on in their life.
And when you care, you figure out a way to solve problems. Do you feel like you're a good problem solver?
I feel like I am for the most part.
I think you have to be.
Yeah, I mean, you do. I explain to people that real estate transactions are basically relationships, and it requires a lot of communication, and it requires also a lot of hard truths. Sometimes not so pleasant conversations about where you need to be versus where you are, or trying to extract information that your client may be feeling, but, scared to say one way or the other, because ultimately it's your job to protect your client, and you need all of that information.
I think that is very well said. I mean, setting the right expectations on the real estate side of the transaction or on the lending side of the transaction, setting the right expectations up front, communicating through that, extracting the information you need so that we can really get to the root cause or the root common denominator of what we need to be able to move forward. I think that's still tough for a lot of people in the real estate business. I think it's lending or on the actual real estate side of it.